it's back in.
And I'm Denise Peterson, and we're with Rare Properties. So Patty works with a lot of buyers,
Right.
and she's discovered that there are roughly about 5 major mistakes that all buyers tend to make. So Patty, what is the first of those mistakes?
Well, the biggest mistake is not getting pre-approved for a home. And when I first meet with a buyer, that is the first question I ask them: have you spoken to a lender yet? Because a lot of situations, somebody may come to me and say, I want to buy this townhome or this house, and it's X amount of dollars, but they may or may not be able to either afford that afford that house, or they may be a few months off from getting their credit up to par. But there are so many reasons why they need to speak to a lender first, and they can't even make an offer unless they've spoken to one. So I'd rather start at the very beginning, so it just makes a smoother transaction.
Understand that. And then what do you find with buyers as far as what they think they want versus what?
Oh, you mean the dream list versus the actual list?
Yes.
The second thing after we go through the lending process, I usually sit down with the buyer, whether it's a husband and wife or a single person, whoever the buyer is, and find out about what they want in a house and what they need in a house. They may want a 4-car garage, but they only need a 2-car garage. So, you basically want to make sure that you have down to, as much as you can, you get to know the person buying, what they need, where they work, what's important to them, so they can, be informed and then make a decision on looking at homes.
And then after you have a buyer and they make an offer on a house, you have a due diligence period that you go through. In
North Carolina, we have a due diligence period now, and that basically means you're paying the seller to take their home technically off the market. And during that due diligence period, it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, depending on when you would like to close. And it's very important in that time frame that you have your inspection done to make sure that the house that you love and you've seen, it doesn't have the foundation cracking underneath it, or there are any pipes or anything that has majorly wrong with the house. You want to find out ahead of time. So we have really good inspectors that we work with to help this process go smoother. It's also the time that you're going to get your financing buttoned up, make sure we can close on a timely basis. If it has a well, anything that has to do with getting to the closing table with the house that you want and know what's going to happen with that house before closing.
So I often hear about people getting emotionally attached to one home in particular. What are some of the dangers that can happen with that?
Well, they'll want to pay, or sometimes they'll end up overpaying for that house because they are so attached to it. It doesn't matter the condition or anything about the house, so it's my job to bring them back in, sit them down and say, okay, I'll run comps on the home, comparative sales of the homes in the neighborhood to see if it's actually worth, this home that they love may not be worth the offer or what even the asking price, or it's just, and they're not making an informed decision if they just go with their heart. And I know it's the biggest investment that they probably will make in their entire life, so it needs to be an informed one. And that's my job, is to help them make that informed decision and sort of step back from the emotional aspect about it completely.
So it sounds like the biggest mistake a buyer could make is not hiring someone like you to help them through this entire process.
Well, yeah, because you see homes on the internet, and you don't need me to bring you the MLS information. What you need from me is, or any an informed agent, is if you find a house that you like, is it worth the $300,000? So you want to be able to explain to them the comparable home sales in that area. Work with the other agents, in the listing agent. You need to be just...
you kind of coordinate every part of it.
Right. Yeah. Whether, from the offer, it's not just driving you around, it's not just taking you in the lot. I mean, we are going into the house. You will know as much as you can about the house or the neighborhood or finances, anything prior to buying that house, as much as I can possibly do. And working with the listing agent and getting it to the closing table as smoothly as possible for the client is my biggest hurdle sometimes. And you really want somebody that's knowledgeable about the market.
So if you're thinking of buying a home and it's important for you not to make some of these mistakes, give us a call at Rare Properties.
919-576-0345, or you can also visit our website www.rareproperties.biz. Thanks so much.
Bye.